Merci. Welcome to the Momentors Talkshow for leading women. And today I'm live with the CEO of Delance Watches, based in Switzerland. And welcome to the show with me today, Giselle.
Welcome. I am very happy to be with you.
Thank you so much. I know that
it is really. Sorry.
I'm just.
Hello.
I can hear you. So there's a bit of a delay, but welcome to the Momentous Talk Show today, Giselle. Can you introduce yourself to the viewers?
Yes. My name is Giselle Ruffer, and I am the creator of a very unique watch. Well, can you see it? Yes. A very unique watch, the Delance watch. And I have created this watch for women now 25 years ago. And it's made by women, for women, and with a very strong symbolic that it is now time for women all over the world. That it is time for women to be all what we can be. And I am happy to be in touch with you and with other women. I suppose some will be from England, from other places in the world. And I say hello to all women who are so courageous and so beautiful.
So no doubt you are that leading woman that we are always talking about. And this show is for leading women. So it's really lovely to have a leading woman who is leading as an entrepreneur, having designed a watch, the only one in the world for women and designed by a woman. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah. I don't know if you receive me well because I don't have the sound very well. Do you hear me well?
I can hear you very well, Giselle.
Hello.
I can hear you very well.
Okay, perfect.
So I was
You had a question? Repeat the question.
So I was just saying it's really lovely to see a woman who's leading as an entrepreneur, having created the only watch for women by a woman. So what sort of challenges have you faced in this brand? Being the only woman with a watch.
Yeah, you see, there is a lot of women in the watch industry, and I was working for a big company in Switzerland, for a very renowned company, and I was the project manager, the product manager, and we were making watches for men. We used to make the watch for men, and then a smaller version for women. But I said to my boss, women is not a reduction of a man. When we deserve something very special for women. And for many years, from my childhood, I am very concerned by the situation of women all over the world. My father died. My mother was only 28 years old. She had 3 children. She was already a businesswoman, but life was very difficult for her. And I could see what she had to struggle. And when I entered the workforce, I could see that very talented women they are not taken seriously. When we have a good idea, we have to fight so much so that people understand what we want to do. Oh, it is just an idea of a way. You see, une idée de bonne femme, we say in French. I don't know how to translate that. It's not very nice. And I was very um, I don't know, revolted, you see, by this, because women are so courageous and so talented, and the fact that they are not taking seriously was making me a revolutionary.
Yes.
I was a revolutionary from my child. And when I was in this big company, uh, I, I could convince the president that we could make a special watch for women. And I worked on this project for 3 years. And after 3 years, the boss changed, and the next one said, "Oh, we are not at all interested in women. You are making too much noise for women. You always speak about this and that about women, but we are a watch company. Women do what we ask them to do, and point final, point." And so I left the company and I decided to create my own company and to make really very unique watches for women, and watches that is a symbol of our talent and a symbol of our life. And that is what I did more than 25 years ago.
Wow. That's absolutely
But
amazing.
you, thank you. And if you are interested, I have a book, my story. You can find it on Amazon. It
Wow.
is a butterfly in a storm, butterfly in a storm,
Butterfly.
and the lady to watch. And
Wow.
it is my story. It is just the story of a woman, and I was asked to write it by a Nigerian woman who said that it is very inspiring also for African women of, and now it is a way to be translated in Chinese, because a very high woman in China said that women in China, they say that it is easy for European, but it is not so easy. It is more easy than in China or in Africa, but it is not easy. We have to, la la, in English, uh, we have to trust ourselves. We have to be confident. We have to be courageous. We have to be persistent. We have to be everything. We have to be to make something
Perfect.
happen. And
Correct.
it is the same the world, also for men, but more for women.
Absolutely, absolutely beautiful, Giselle. So, in terms of your book, is I mean, your watch's story is also bringing women together, regardless of where they're from in the world.
Yes. uh, the idea, if you want me to speak about how I had the idea and what was my passion and my mission, um, I have created this watch to be a sign of recognition for women who wants to make the world a better place for all.
Mhm.
From my childhood, I was very involved and very, how can I say, I was wanting to change the world. I was wanting to make things happen. But with the time, I saw that perhaps I was not a real revolutionary. And I am not a politician. I am to, I, s- I say what I want
Yeah.
to say. So this is not very politician. And so I said, I will do something with my unique talent. And
Mhm.
that is what I say to women, or to young women and to old women. What is your unique talent? And make something with this unique talent.
Wow.
And if for you your talent is to make podcast and to interview people, and it's great because it is your talent. But my talent, I am a creator, I am a visionary, and or probably I am not sure I am the only one who could do that, but perhaps the only one who has the courage to do it, to create a watch to be a sign of recognition, a watch that means that it is time for women all over the world. It is time for women to be all what we can be. And
Wow.
it is time for women to work together to make the world a better place for all. Now we don't have to be jealous and to criticize and to so. It's over. We have no time for that. We have only time to create a new world.
Yes, yes. Absolutely. I love
Yeah.
that, Giselle. That's a powerful message. And this is what this platform is also about. It's about, saying that regardless of where we're from, as leading women, and I can see, and, from your story, you are a leading woman. And what you have done is created something that has a story to it to empower us as women, regardless of where we come from. So I absolutely love that story, Giselle. Thank you so much. So I know that when I met you before, you explained that some of the watches have got a meaning to them. Can you tell us about one or two of your watches and your personal message from those watches?
Yeah. Okay. Can you see me? Okay. Well, uh,
I can hear you. I can see
one
you.
of the watch I very much. You see me? Okay. One of the watch I very much like is the first watch for a mother I created for my mother. I told you my mother is now 94, but when she just passed 75, we were all together, and we are 5 children, and she has 12 grandchildren and more. I don't remember, 14 grandchildren. And we were all there making a lot of noise. And she said, I very much like you, but you make so much noise. And then uh, she would have an anniversary just a few months later, and I had the idea to create a watch and to set stone at the hour her 5 children are born.
Wow.
And one of the grandchildren said, I also want to be on the watch of my grandmother, and I will pay for it. And then we decided to create this unique watch for my mother with
Wow.
so many stones at the hours the children are born. And I also made a very special watch for Kate, your Kate.
Wow.
We literally born the hour her 3 children are born.
Wow.
But it is just example. You see, you
Wow.
can buy the Kate watch, but better to buy your watch with a stone at the hour your children are born.
Born. Absolutely
And that
amazing.
is one of yeah. And so everywhere you go, you have your children with you. And
Wow.
my mother said, I look at them, I see all together, and you don't make too much noise. You see? And
So can somebody, Giselle, can somebody actually order this watch as specifically for their own story? Can you make a watch specifically for an individual?
yes, that is my specialty. That is really the watch that I will tell you in a few words, the symbol of the watch. The diamond A is a symbol for life.
Mm-hmm.
And you see a spiral, it's complicated. You see a spiral, and the spiral is infinity. And you have a stone, and the stone symbolizes masculinity.
Wow.
And I don't know if you see, it's complicated, but
I can
go on
see
the
that.
website.
I
And,
can see that.
and on the infinity, that means the life, your life, my life, your life. We can set stone to symbolize something very unique for you. It can be birth of your children, but I have another one. If you have a dream, if you have something very important for you that you want to remember, and we can find a way to symbolize. For example, just say you have a dream. I create something for you. It is not prepared, but for
Yeah.
example, you have a dream, and your lucky number is 5, and your color is red. And I just say something. Oh, born at 2 o'clock. So I could get 5 little red stone just near to 2 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
And that would remind you to be true to your dream, because red is your color,
Wow.
5 is your number, and
Wow.
you are born at 2 o'clock.
Wow.
But you will be the only one who knows this meaning, you see?
Wow.
And there is possibility.
Wow.
And because and what happens, it is very often when a woman wants a unique watch, she tell me things, and sometimes she say, I never told that to somebody. You
Wow.
are the first woman or the first person I told that.
Wow.
And
Wow.
it is like a secret wish, you see.
It's your
It
own
is something
story.
very strong. Yeah.
Very powerful. I like
You
that.
had other questions.
I like that, Giselle. I like that.
Yeah.
So what Giselle is saying is that you can actually order, the watch for your own story, and you'll be the only person to know basically what it means. So I've pinned her website on there. If you want to connect with her, if you want to know about these watches, they're absolutely amazing. They have a meaning to them. So you're not just wearing a watch that has no meaning. And this is a watch that's been created for just women and by a woman. So that is truly empowering. So just moving on then, in
And
terms,
something I, I want to add something. Also, the shape of the watch and the way it is made. It was tested by some people who is tested the energy, because everything has an energy, positive or negative. And because of the shape and the material we use, the watch has a very strong energy, because it is handmade and by women who love what they do. So when you wear the watch, you have the watch, but you also have the love who makes watch. And perhaps some people will say, oh, that is l'histoire de bonne femme. It's a story for women. But a lot of people believe in the energy of what you are wearing.
so can I ask then, so do you employ in your factories, do you just employ women? Because obviously we're hearing that the watches are made by women. So you provide employment for these women, but do you just employ women only?
Alors, it is not possible to only choose women, but the photo are made by women. The text, I write the text, they are translated by women, and all what is apparent is made by women. I created the watch for women. I am the creator, but I worked with the designer. The designer is a woman. I am now working on a new collection, and I work with 3 artists. One is engraving. She's engraving the case of the watch, and 2 other are miniaturists. They made a painting on the dial. It's very unique. You cannot see them on the website now. I am just developing them.
Wow.
But these are 3 women. and we work together, you see, in harmony. I say I want something. For example, I was just working now on a watch I call Daisy, and Daisy is a name. It is Margaritas,
Yeah.
and Margaritas in Greek mean pearl. And so I made a full story. The dial is mother of pearl, and on the dial we have designed margaritas. You see, Daisy. You understand what is
Yeah.
margaritas? The flower.
The flower. I know
Eh?
Daisy the flower.
And the flower. And so it's a complete story. It is very subtle. You see the story between the dial and the flowers and the painting, the women who made it, and it's very unique. And so it is what I really love. But sure, there are men who work when I work with a factory who makes the the hands. Okay, the factory belonged to a woman, but the people who worked in the factory are women and men. I cannot say, you see, them sometimes. But choose the people, when I choose the people who work with me, it is, I can say, 90% women.
Yes, absolutely beautiful. I like
And
that. I like that.
I like to work with women because the difference is with women, we collaborate. So, for example, this collection the name will be Floralia. Uh, uh, when I spoke with them, with a woman, they have an idea. Oh, yes, we can do that. The other, we could do that. We could do that. Everybody is participating, but we do it together. There is no one who said, I made it. You see, we made it together.
So
And I don't have to explain. They understand as soon as I have an idea. I say, I have an idea. For example, I changed the Instagram. I said I hire a young a student, and I said I want to make an Instagram. You can look Delance watches on Instagram. It's a new face, and we work on it together. But
wow.
I can't say I did nothing, but I worked a lot. She did it, but we worked together. I gave my ideas. Then she said, "Oh, you see, because she's very young and I am very old." And so she said a few things. Oh, now we don't do this like that. You see, I say, okay, do what you think is okay for young women. But we could collaborate. She was not, come on. She had a lot of respect for me because I am an old woman. But on the other way, I could understand what she was telling me. For young women, it is different,
Wow.
and it is an enrichment. Enrichment is okay. We are rich if
Yes,
we collaborate.
adding
She
value,
learned.
correct?
Yeah, you see, and that is the way I like to work. And very often it is difficult to work that way with men. Even with my son or with my husband, they always know much better than I.
Wow. Wow.
I don't know how it is with your husband or your
Wow. Giselle, that's really, really enlightening. And obviously, you're saying, and certainly what I can get from what you're saying is you are really big on collaboration. You're working with women from all spectrums, young women, and you are teaching them, and they are also teaching you, vice versa, therefore adding value to both them through your experience and yourself. So, how have you been spending your time with the COVID-19? How has that affected your business? Have you had any, as the COVID-19, the lockdown, has it affected your business in any way?
Alors, my business regarding sales is very low because people, they want to see they don't they see it on the website. The website is very well done, My daughter did it. You see, you can find all the information about on the website, but we don't buy a quite expensive watch without trying it, without having it on your wrist. So people, they will not. I sold two during this day. It's nothing, but I decided not to worry, because as I told you, there is a lot of things I want to do for quite a long time, and I never had time because I travel a lot. So I developed this new collection of Floralia watches that will be ready for the winter. It's not yet ready, but it should be soon ready. I write to all the text, make the photos, and it's a lot of work. Make the catalogs and so. And also we redo, as I told you, the Instagram page. And I am also working the translation of my story in Spanish. And I cannot, I am not involved in the translation because I just know a little bit of Spanish, but I have to coordinate all the work, the translation, the proofreading, and so on. It's a lot of work, but one is working in Venezuela, another one in Spain, another one in Zurich, and me here in Switzerland, in my place. So, but we speak by WhatsApp or by email or so. There is no need. Usually I would have gone to Zurich, I would have traveled, I would have spent a lot of time traveling and so on. But now I am quiet at home and I do the same. It is I even work more.
Wow.
And I think better.
Yes. Wow.
But
Amazing.
sometimes I go often in the fridge to eat some chocolate or something.
Okay. Which is what a lot of people have been doing, Giselle. But well done for spending your time, obviously developing your business model, being creative, and doing a lot more other things on Instagram. So, what is your Instagram page? Would you like some of the viewers to maybe follow you on there? How can they get in touch?
Yes. Follow. Not me. Enfin, you can follow me as a person because my personal Instagram is just who I am. You see, there is no strategy whatever. I put what have arrived without. But on the Delance Watches Instagram page, it's very professional. It's very well done, and you can follow and share and also, yes, thank you.
And
I would be happy.
And it's Delance Watches on Instagram as well, is it? Yeah?
Yeah.
Correct. So, what advice would you give to somebody who may be thinking about starting their own business presently? You've been 25 years in the business, and what advice would you tell them? And no doubt you have experienced challenges in your business, not only now but before. What advice would you give a young entrepreneur?
I have a few advice. I will say, do what you can do very well. Do something that you are a specialist, something that you love, something that you can say is made just for yourself. And do it for people you love, because you will have to sell it. So, for example, just say just say you have a dog, and you are a specialist something, and you can develop food for dogs because you know exactly what dogs need, and you know what the parents of the dog they want to buy for their dogs.
Yes.
And you know everything about dogs. So do something you very well know, where you are your best clientele, and that you know very well. That is something I want to say. because when you do something that is your passion, you can do it 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, because in the same time, it is also a pleasure. It is not only a job. It is something you do because you like to do it. That is very important. And what is very important, if you, alors, sure, I will give all the tips that you can read in all books about creating your company. I will not say that. It's very important um, to find perhaps a good mentor, but somebody who can help you, support you. Perhaps you need more than one mentor, because one people could say to be your mentor for a few months, but then you need another one, or you can have the mentor for 20 years. You
Yeah.
see, it's depend. You have to find the some people, because we never succeed alone. We cannot succeed alone. It does not exist.
Yeah.
And you always need other people. You need partners. You need the support of your family. And what I want to say, if you are very convinced about your idea, what you want to do, if somebody tell you it is impossible, just let them say.
Yeah.
Don't listen to them. If you are convinced, be convinced.
Wow.
And it's your job, it is your dream. Don't let somebody say it's not possible. I have an example. My daughter, she is now retired. She's 50 soon. And she, when she was 7 years old, she told me, Mom, I want to be a prima ballerina.
Wow.
And we are in Switzerland, in a city, in a beautiful place. But everybody said, who can be a prima ballerina when you live in such a place? And all the family said, oh, you are so, she's, I said to my husband, she's so intelligent, she can be a doctor, a professor, an engineer, whatever. Why does she want to be a ballet dancer? And I said, but it is not because she is intelligent that she cannot do what she wants to do. And finally, she ended. She was in the opera in Paris,
Wow.
and in the opera school, then in the ballet. And finally, she was prima ballerina in Les Grands Ballets Canadiens in Montreal.
Wow.
And coming from a small place in Switzerland,
Mhm.
and but she could not have done alone, you see, because she left home. She was 13 years old. She was a little girl, you see. Alone she could not have done it, but she did the job. She was really wanting to succeed, but I could accompany her to see the star and to be a star. And that is what, as a mother or as a aunt or as a friend, sometimes we can support other women or
Yeah.
men also. And if
Yes.
it is your son, do the same. We
Wow.
can support people to be successful just by giving a good tips, a good address, by introducing to something, or by helping them to find a way. Sometimes very little things can change the life of another person. And that is what I want to say. Find the people who can help you, but also help everyone who, that you can help. We cannot save the planet, but we can, very often we can be very useful for some people just by giving a good tip, a good address, something. Just find.
Amazing. So you're certainly saying that, people need to follow their passion. If you're listening, this is coming from a successful woman who is leading as an entrepreneur, having designed her own watches by a woman, for women only, and has been in the business for over 25 years. Currently, she's working on a new collection. So this is coming from somebody who is tried and tested as an entrepreneur. And what Giselle has been saying is, follow your dreams, find your passion, find something that you are good at. Something that you can do 24 hours a day is the thing you want to be focusing on. And certainly look for mentors, connect with people that can help you, destiny connectors, connect with others, look for support and help, and follow your dreams, and you will succeed. So that is really, I'm really grateful, Giselle, for that, for the tips that you've shared with us today. Do you have any last words for the Momentous Talk Show for Leading Women?
Yes, just be happy. We create our own happiness, and if we try to find a way when it is difficult, and just finding to be happy. It's not always easy, but very often I have not people are unhappy and they should be happy. So if you can be happy, be happy.
Thank you. And that's really coming from Giselle. And I have personally met this lady. She's one happy, she's got positive energy. And, I know that I met you once and you are a happy woman. So I certainly believe it when she's saying, just be happy. So, guys, that is part of a success tip from Giselle herself. And I just really want to say thank you so much for coming to share with us about your watches, about your business, and also sharing with us, how we can, as young entrepreneurs, continue to push forward and be successful. So thank you so much for coming on the Momentous Talk Show for Leading Women. And Giselle from Switzerland, thank you so much. Take care and bye-bye.
And thank you for inviting me. See
You're
you
welcome.
soon again.
See
Bye-bye.
you soon. Bye-bye now. Bye.